So, hey everyone. So today we will talk about container security, or I would say image security in general. Correct. So before jumping to the next slide, when I was preparing for this talk, I was thinking about how should I structure this talk because I can go too much technical or too much basic. So as this was the first kind of a conference in India, so I thought, or event I would say. So I thought, okay, let's keep it very basic and cover it till end. So I will go through why even we are talking this and showing you a demo. So before jumping into that, a little bit about me. So I am a developer advocate. I do both as a full-time as well as freelancing. I work with a lot of open source software, contributed to a lot of open source software in the past. Docker captain, I recently get recognized as a Docker captain, and I create a lot of content. Might be some of you may recognize me from Twitter, blogs, or etc. etc. So Docker images are secure by default, or I should say container images are secure by default. We often heard this term Docker images are secure by default because Docker is the one I think most adopted ecosystem and they have a lot of images. But it's not just about the Docker vendor. It's about any vendor coming from none of the images by secure. I'd say open source softwares are secure. That is a misconception. That is not true. Yes, open source are much more secure than a closed loop software. For sure, we know that because we can see the code and etc. etc. But nothing is open source by default. You have to look at a lot of things like compliances, how it is working behind the scenes, and the software which is secure today might not be secure tomorrow. We have seen that. So, for example, if you have any project sitting around, like if you created a year back, just go back and check the CVs. That time when you use that image, there was zero CVs. But if you check today, it has a lot of CVs because CVs get registered on a daily basis. This is why I said the software which is software compliance or vulnerability free today might not be tomorrow. So shifting testing left in a development workflow. We heard about the shifting testing or shifting QA into development workflow, but it should be security as well because what I have seen in the past and currently seeing the paradigm like security is like always say, okay, let's do this testing, unit testing first or XYZ, and we will run security later in the stage. Let me give you an example. Like we have a lot of good Kubernetes operators, correct, which look for what to say CVs. We have I will not name them like operators as well as good CRDs. But everyone knows that like fixing things in production is much more painful than fixing things early because that time you're exposing your project or your cluster or your services to multiple things like you have database connected, you have multiple service connected, XYZ. But if you fix those things in early stage, that makes your software much more quality. Adaptability also increases because when you look for software, you see which software is much more secure, correct? So automatically the adaptability increases with that. A lot of things like you, what to say, ship to production faster because the image is just secure. You don't wait for the image vulnerability get diagnosed in the cluster. And more painful if your security team, like we do load testing and everything, that time your security get what to say caught. That is more painful because that time whole code need to be rerun or rewrite. That is the case. So I think there's already discussed salsa thread model. Yes, it's called salsa. We have a mascot as well doing salsa. So shout out to the person who has created this mascot. So salsa give you a framework like how you can what to say from source to service, like how you can make integrity much more better from writing code to shipping in the production. So if I think some people has already discussed this, but if you see the overall paradigm of this thing, so threat can happen in any place of the cycle, like from your code to the consumer, and might be your source code get compromised, or during the build, the D section, might the build time you get compromised, or the consumer which is ending user compromise. So security threat can be happen anywhere, anytime. So and today we will be focusing on the F section, which is the CI one. This is our whole talk about this. So let's take a closer look. So we have source, correct? My code, like anyone's code, and we build through Dockerfile, and we publish that package. And consumer means like either I am using in my own cluster or someone is using, like it can be any. And interesting thing about the build thing is we use a lot of third-party tools. The current what to say, the ecosystem is like we use a lot of vendor tools, a lot of third-party tools, a lot of open source software to build softwares because we need to ship faster. And like even though we have the check for source code, we have check for the build. Sometimes when we use the third-party packages and they come with the vulnerabilities, the final artifact or final package consists of vulnerabilities, even though your what to say, source code does not have that. So yeah, so this was the an overall like look at that. So enter Docker Scout. So just to be clear, it's just not about the Docker Scout. Any tool which works better, it's good. I like Docker Scout a little better because when we talk about the security, so if we talk about as a what to say, as a developer standpoint, it's painful. It's not that easy. Like if you are not a security person. So one thing I find really good with the Docker Scout, I will also show that in the slide as well. So it is a really developer friendly and kind of give you an ecosystem of that. So first, we talk about the SBOMs already. So of course, I'm not going to waste time on that. So it creates a SBOM and it matches with the inventory or database of this CVs. And if it finds that CVE in that image, it will just mention that, okay, CV found and it is high, it is lower, depending on the severity of that. So it basically finds the security weakness. It's a standalone service. I will also show a demo of that. So this is why I said like it is very developer friendly. And when I was preparing for this, I was thinking, okay, the talk should be in this way. Like if a single developer to enterprise can implement that tool. So this is the Scout is so much better. So either a lot of people use a Docker desktop. I think anyone using Docker desktop. So yeah, a lot of people use that. So Docker Hub, there's a CLI as well, and Docker Scout also done on the Docker Hub as well. So I will show you a demo of that. Sorry for that. So it is I have written a very basic Docker file. So what I am doing is like in the first step, I'm just using Alpine like Golang image, and I'm building a simple app. I can show you the app. It is very basic. I am using the Gin framework, just having a single route / kubecon and just print out the message. Doesn't matter because we are just creating a binary out of that. So what we are doing, like we are using multi-stage building. It is clearly visible. We have a builder step and a final step. So we are creating a binary and just using that binary in the final step. So and we are running that binary with the command and storing that in bin. So if I now I go to the doc on the GitHub repository, or I will better explain here as well. So this is the CI part 1. So let me first show you the how Docker Scout CLI works. So like after you build the image, like Docker build. So yeah, if you build this image first, like if I build this image, I am pushing that as well to the Docker Hub as well. Because when you use in the CI, there should be some image already present in your hub to compare, because comparison only happen with a certain base. So not base image, you need some things to compare. So you need an image when you are running a CI to compare with something. So we push an image, and if we do Docker Scout quick view, so it gives you like the the severities. Like there's one critical vulnerabilities, two medium and 9 medium, like the severities of CVs, and we can also see the detail. But I am more interested in showing the CI part. So this is the action I write like for. So this is for sure we are running on the GitHub action. So every time you push and tag or branch or pull request, it triggers this. So there's a registry. So the good thing about this Docker Scout, even though it comes from Docker, does not matter which registry you're using. Either you are using Docker, either you are GSCR, like a lot of registry are there. So and image names. So as I mentioned, like you need a certain image which is already present on Docker Hub or any registry to compare it with how much worse or how much better it is. So this is the image name and compare tag. So which tag you are comparing, like the current coming changes, and we are comparing with the latest. So let me give you example. There's a beta tag, beta image tag, and you have latest pushed in, so it will compare latest versus beta. So it will show a report, okay, your latest is this much worse or your latest is this much better than previous one. So this is the, and we are using the Ubuntu latest permissions like read and write permissions for the what to say, the action permissions, and we are using the buildx. So the good thing about, I'm not using multi-stage, sorry, not building for multi-architecture because it might take some time. So I'm just using the Linux one. So, but I'm using buildx here, so you can use that as well. So I'm logging into the registry. This part get waived off when you are using the GitHub container registry, because for pushing to Docker Hub, for sure you need some credentials. So this is why this credential come in picture. And when you like push to the Docker Hub, you need extract metadata like version or what suffix you're using. You are using SHA or short form, or depending on the use case. So this is a build process and pushing the image to the Docker Hub. So one thing I want to clear here is like when we compare image, there are two things. So either you can like, I will show you the PR as well. When you raise a PR with the changes, you can build that image, what to say, the branch one which is coming from the PR, and push it to the Docker Hub, or either you can store that in the GitHub action daemon. So I'm what to say, right now I'm pushing because that is much more easier. So you can also make local is equal to true and just remove that part. So it will store in the action daemon only, like where the action is running. So Docker Scout. So this is where the important stuff come into picture. So so what we are doing, only running on the pull request here. If there's a pull request coming and the compare command, sorry, the command. So Docker Scout comes with a lot of commands. So there's a compare command, which as I mentioned, compare image, compare the image with the previous one with the newer one, and recommendation. It recommends you what things can be better. And what to say, yeah, severities, we can select between crucial, high, and low. So depending on the use case, write comments, like it will write a comment in the, what to say, in the pull request, and it will actually show you detailed report. I will show in that demo, and GitHub token for writing permission. So let me go back to the repository. So as I mentioned, show you like this Docker file. What I will do, I will just create a branch. Let's do test one for now. If I go to the Docker file, and this is why I commented this thing. If I just comment this and uncomment this, so you can see we are going down. We are going from 3.17 to 3.12. So it makes sense the severity will increase. So we will see that. If I just create a PR, and let me raise a PR. Okay, we will see that. So this is quite interesting because, of course, like you might be running something in CI, you need some automation. So this is why the CI part into come into picture, even though it has Docker Hub integration. So this is the Docker Hub, till it runs, I can show you here. See, you can this severity report. You can, of course, have this in, what to say, your Docker desktop, or if I go to hub.docker.com and if I show the images, you can see I already pushed this image. You can have this severity report on the Docker Hub as well. So of course, as it's a constant monitoring thing. So let me check that the PR has commented or not. Okay, it's still running. As I mentioned, it is pushing the incoming changes with a SHA, which is created. The SHA is the merge commit one. When you raise a PR, when you merge those things, I think you already know that there's a merge commit. So that is the SHA for that image which is pushed to the Docker Hub for this one. Same name but different tag. So yeah, you can see here. the previous image, the latest one, has a 1 critical severity. The updated one has a 3 critical severity. And if you click on the labels, you can actually see the labels, but I'm interested in packages. And into that, I'm interested in this. So you can see it clearly states which package is much more vulnerable. Like you can see like APK tools now get critical. BusyBox was having no severity, but now BusyBox also has high security in the incoming changes, and so on and so forth for that. And let me quickly change this before I run out of time to an updated version, which is much more secure. So good thing is like it will just edit that comment and what to say, it will not just post another comment, it will just edit that comment only. And yeah, I was going to show another thing. So yeah, this was the comparison. Below is a recommendation. It also give you recommendation which better image you can switch to. Like of course you know the stuff like okay, this is severe, but what to do next? So it give you recommendation. This is why we have two commands, compare and recommendation. So it give you recommendation, and in each and everything it clearly says it is a minor OS or image contain fewer packages. So you can look accordingly and see okay which might works for you. And interesting one more thing is like even you are a log kind of person, everything is into logs as well. So you can if you think the comments are annoying, so you can turn off those comments and you can go into Docker Scout and you can click on compare. Each and every command has this thing, so you can literally look at the logs if you don't want action commenting and creating extra notifications. So you can also do that as well. If I again go back to my PR with the updated image, which is much more secure. Okay, you can see the latest one, if I compare to the latest Alpine image, it has 0 critical, 0 high, 0 medium, and 0 low severities. So this is how it compares. And previous one was 9.1 MB and 9 was like 9.8 megabytes. So image versioning, and if I go to the packages, it shows me 2 packages added, 2 packages removed, 17 packages changed, 3 vulnerability removed. And if I go down, you can see the updated version. Like OpenSSL was not secure, but it is secure now. So yeah, that was it. Like this was a demo, and yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, that was the demo. If you want to connect with me, you can scan the barcode or Google me or just chat GPT me. Anything works. So yeah, thank you so much.